have a 50mm diameter by 200 long piece of aluminium, and what this is for is this was going to make the spindle cover. I've put the upper guard on. It's only just put in place, but it has this little ring there that collar will sit over and hold that in place. Now, the other bit that holds this at the back, and this is what came with the machine, so it seems as though it's, I don't know, it seems a bit of an amateur setup, but it's a piece of 1/4 mil Tufnell, I suppose. It was just square cut, and I've rounded the corners just to make it look a bit tidy. It was painted the green as before, so I cleaned it up, give it a spray paint of grey to match in with everything else, but I've run out of grey for the moment, so I've only got white left, which is what I've done on this. Got a mucky mark on it already. So I'm not quite sure that that's sitting at the right level that it should, but like I said, I think it was a bit of an amateur setup. This may even have come off a different machine. But what we're going to be concerned with mostly on this little video is making this to go on there. Now the hole in here is about 45mm, so we've got to reduce that end, and to match what the originals were, the top section of it has got to be tapered. So I don't have a lathe, but I want to do it here. Well, I do have a lathe, I have a woodworking lathe, but I don't think my wood turning tools can turn that. So I've got to think of something else. And I think I might do it with a router again. So we'll see how we do that. Right, we need to find the centres on this. What I've done, I wouldn't really trust my centre finder up there, it's not big enough. What I've done was I actually put this on and just scribed some lines, so I've got some lines to find a centre. So I'm going to just punch that. I don't expect this is going to be terribly accurate, but come this way. Okay, and this end. Yeah. What I did get myself was these mill cutters, cheapies from China, but I've got one. I've got a 1/2 inch shank router, so I've got a 1/2 inch cutter which will go in one router. That's an 8mm, and I've got an 8mm collar in 2 of my other routers. And also we got here, we've got a 4, that's on a 6mm shank, so I can use that one. That's a 6, so I've got 6mm, I can use that one, and that's a 10. But I haven't opened it to see what shank it's on at the moment. Let's have a look. So yeah, that'll be on a 10mm shank, and I haven't got anything to hold that, so that one we can't use. So I've got a range of cutters. I'll probably use the 1/2 inch one in my big router. So here is my nice big Hitachi 1/2 inch router. It was a 1/2 inch collet in there, but there is some flexibility with them, and that 12mm bit in there, and that's actually tightened down fine. I run it up. It's fine. That's on its slowest speed, because I know milling cutters, they don't want to run the same speed as router cutters. Hopefully that speed will be okay. It probably still is a little too fast, but that's the best I can do. So what I want to do is put that between centres on my wood lathe and mount a carriage over the top for this to go on. So we'll see how we do that. Well, who would have believed that you can cut metal on a wood lathe? It's a bit of a lash up, I know, but it works. This is an old cross slide that I got off eBay for around £10, or last year sometime. It's got a lot of slop in it and backlash and whatever, but I've already done that end. That's the end that will fit into there, and that's nice. That's a nice tight fit, but it's a friction fit. So we've just got to do the rest. I'll give you a little show of how it cuts. And yes, that is a drill bit. I've just sharpened the other end to cut metal. The backlash in that, and there must be 3 turns. Never mind, I've got the ways tightened down quite tight, so it's not really going to move much. But on this end, to get this, I've just got the normal spike and flat spade that I've cut a groove into the end of the alley, and that's holding nice and tight. It's not a problem, so it's all held in there quite tight. And that's all bolted on, and it was missing its handles, this was, so I just cut these little wooden discs, screw and a bit of alley tube. It will do what I need it to do. Saves me using the router and building some big contraption on here that would do it with those cutters, so I'm quite pleased with this. It's my first real go at turning metal of some description. I know this is a bit of a lash up, but I hope the likes of Keith Fenner and Adam Booth don't see this. They'll have a good laugh. Well, maybe they'll enjoy it, I don't know, or enjoy the chuckle from it. But I need now to find out and mark out what the shape is of this, because I think it's got a bit of a like a chamfered shoulder here somewhere. It's got a small piece which stays at 50, and it's got a small chamfered shoulder, and then it tapers down slightly, and I can't remember what the end is, so I'm going to go and have a look at that and figure out some measurements, because on the top of the drill we only need this to be maybe 125mm from the top there to the top there, so we don't need all of this. So I'm going to go and figure out now exactly what I need to shape this to match as near as I can to what the original was, and then we'll come back and, as the professionals say, make some more chips. Oh, I found some images. This is from, let me think, it's Keith Rucker's site, vintagemachinery.org. They've got a sheet on there of, it's for the Atlas 73, which is the floor standing model, where mine's the 74, the bench top. But I mean, the rest of it, apart from the length of the pillar, the rest of it's the same. But so there's a spindle on there, and there's a couple of images that I got from just searching on Google of other people that have restored the same drill press. I think this one shows it probably the clearest the most. I couldn't quite make whether that was a dome or a chamfer on top, and I'm quite sure now that is a chamfer. So it is. It looks like we've got perhaps a 5mm flat, then it goes down to a chamfer. I don't know what that dimension could be. I mean, if the hole in this is 45, it could be that the top of that's, well, it looks like with the chamfer on there, it's perhaps just under, unless there was more of an overhang of that, of the lip that seats against. So I think we'll do a little bit of marking out, see what we can do. Let's put them up there for now. Now I've said, let's find my little scale. Do with some more light here, couldn't we? One of these unplugged. Which one is it? That's a bit better. Right, okay. Right, so seeing as this was imperial, let's try and work with some imperial measurements. So we'll say that from that shoulder, so the first flat we're going to do at 1/4. So we'll do that. Then we want to put a chamfer on it. So we'll say that's a 45-degree chamfer. So if we do that over perhaps another 1/4 and see how that works out. So how long is the rest from the top of that chamfer to there? Now, can't really scale on there, but we've got roughly 3/4 of an inch by there. So it's a little bit less than the depth of this by the looks of it. That's about 3.5 inches. Three and a half. Well, that near enough comes to the shoulder I've already cut up to on there. Right, so that's the chamfer bit between them two, and the last one I think is just another 45-degree chamfer to whatever. So that should do that. We'll put some better marks on. Can't really see them just yet. suppose that line on there doesn't really matter, because what I want to do now is just turn that down. So now, diameters. Now I said that was we call it inches. That's 1 3/4. I think we're just going to have to play it by eye and just keep going with it. But at least I know where I want to go. I think I'll just make a little rough sketch of what we're doing. So we've got shoulder, chamfer, exaggerated taper, chamfer again, flat top. So from there to there we said it's going to be 3.5. From there to there and there to there is quarter. I've done the shoulder at, got quite a bit on there at the moment. Is about 1/2 inch. That's not bad. Okay. I think we can work with that. So diameters. And this diameter up here we want what are we going to say on that? Yeah, so if I go 1 3/4. And that one, if we bring that down to 1.5. Okay. We'll cut some chips then. Something has come a little loose. It's not that. Oh, something felt a little loose. I don't know what it was. This drill bit in here. Okay, I'll tighten everything up and we can come back.